The following program contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to Ox After Dark, the late night, great night show, where Dean, the Professor, Danik and Lee Walker, John, the Everyday Collector, Dylan, Ballsy, and Matt, the Sweet Angel Mangum, talk about our dreams, our lives, our trials, our tribulations. Before we get into that, let's kick it off with one of these.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Dude, we should have that guy on the show.
I don't think we can afford that guy.
Dude, Dylan wasn't on the stream when we did the viewer discretion as advised, and then it cut and he's here. I was like, what the hell? That was amazing.
The magic.
Fucking love it.
It's all in the wrist, my guy.
Did somebody send a link to Scott?
In the wrist.
Can someone's okay. We have a great After Dark plan for you guys. I know last night we were going to talk some Regal Robot stuff. We pushed it because we had way too much of a show to handle. Matt is here.
Big show.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Patreon. We're going to talk about Super Chat. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. Strap in. It's going to be a good one. Before we get too deep into it, Matt, congratulations. Rogue16 YouTube channel has hit 1,000 subscribers. That's
cool.
fantastic.
Congratulations, guys.
That's fantastic.
You'd think we'd have gone the other direction this last week, but I guess not, right? I guess not. So
Yeah.
Matt, which Star Wars characters clap like this?
oh gosh.
Heath Ledger.
Which Star Wars characters?
Porgs?
Or it was in
Whoa,
Phantom Menace.
The Ewoks, baby.
No, they were
No,
in the Senate.
It was those.
Oh jeez.
Those alien-looking things.
Those ones
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
those
Baba?
ones.
The Walrus guy?
Dude, I don't even know.
I
I
freaking
remember
love the
seeing
Senate.
them.
I love the Senate. I love seeing all the freaking crazy shit in the Senate.
The
It's
ET's
awesome.
in there?
The ETs that were in there?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dude, so cool.
We have Sean Usby, Toy Mafia, Pemrica's in the chat so far, Danik and Lee Walker too. So with 1,000 subs, Matt, comes the option for some different monetizations. We were talking before the show, but I was like, let's pause it there. Let's do the discussion live because, I mean, it obviously you guys are not new to the game. You guys have your merch line, which is incredibly well designed. I got to give you props on that.
Oh, thank you.
You guys have a great selection of shirts. The new branding that you guys did recently with the Rogue 1/6 line is tremendous.
Cool.
The boxer is probably obviously the highlight of
The like very uncomfortable boxers, by the way.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
So I thought it'd be good for us to talk about what 1,000 subscribers means to a channel. We had our first monetized show yesterday, and
cool.
It went great. Honestly, I mean,
Way
I don't think
better
every
than I thought it was going to be.
That's killer, guys. That's cool.
I don't think every show is going to be to that degree.
Sure.
But you were mentioning beforehand that you guys are kind of considering it, and then also considering going into Patreon. So tell me what you guys got, what you're thinking about.
Yeah, look, I think if we, what I don't want to do is, and I don't know how this works. We're still very new to this thing, so I don't know. What I don't want to see happen is like 20, 30 ads on our videos, and I don't know if we pick that or if YouTube picks that or what happens there, or I don't know how that works. I don't know if that changes at all or what happens there, but I find that super annoying. So I think it would be cool to do super chats because I think it gets you have to answer a super chat, so it gives people an option to have their question answered for sure. But we also don't have we're not rolling in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in a chat, right? That's where I think super chats are the most valuable. Like if you're talking with a Justin Collection or someone like that's got just crazy amounts of subscribers and you want your question answered, then that makes sense. So I think we'll probably try it. The Patreon thing's super interesting. I don't know. The problem with Patreon is that you've got to have stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
I think to make it worth it.
Yeah, I think that there's people that do well on Patreon that offer nothing, and I don't understand how. That's very rare, right?
Yeah,
if
sure.
you're a creator that has a few hundred people and all you're doing is maybe just a quick slide of their names at the end. The way
Yeah.
that we've been able to get it to work was doing the stickers and swag.
Right,
We've
which
kind
is
of built
cool.
like a little community. We have like a chat with them,
like that.
art prints that we're making for them, and posters and certificates. And right now the Patreon is doing way better than I think we ever thought it would. But
I was
we're
super against Patreon at first.
Yeah.
I was like, Zach, you're gonna piss off the listeners. No one's gonna wanna. They're gonna be pissed off that you're like
Yeah.
Quite the
asking.
opposite.
Did any of you guys?
Completely opposite. It was insane.
Did any of you guys feel like because I don't. At the end of the day, I tell this to the guys all the time. Like, we don't owe anything to anybody, right? We spend our time, our money doing this, and if people don't like it, they should go somewhere else. Like, it's fine. If they want to watch, then watch. That's great.
Nah, who doesn't like you?
Oh, there's plenty of people.
I
I'm
don't
sure.
want to meet that guy. I'll tell you
Sure.
that much.
I'm sure there's plenty of people.
fuck that guy.
But that said, like.
It's because you're
we-
too handsome. That's what it is.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
right.
no.
But we don't owe anything to anybody else. So it's like, at the end of the day, I don't feel like we would be, I don't feel like we'd be selling out in doing that. But I know that that's a thought, right? That's some people just do not like Patreon and the idea of that.
As a listener of I listen to podcasts all fucking day. I find it incredibly annoying. One of them is called Mysterious Universe. They'll give you half
Oh
the
my God.
podcast,
I love that show.
yeah.
but
and
the
then
other
they're
half,
like, "Yeah,
Oh,
you
no.
want to hear the rest of it? You gotta
Right.
pay."
That's the
Right.
worst.
And I fucking so when Zach was like, "Hey, I think we should start doing a Patreon," I was like, "Dude, no, people are gonna hate this.
Yeah.
people are gonna be upset that you're putting at least some content behind the paywall. Our main show and stuff is free. The only thing that the Patreon gets, other than the swag and stuff, is this show, the After Dark.
Yeah.
but everyone
and-
has a
and
chance to
that's-
enjoy it.
Yeah,
for free.
everybody has a chance to watch it live.
Exactly, and that's cool. Like I think if you do it right, it's cool. Like one thing we've thought of, and I don't think this is like, look, if we do it and it works, great. But like we've thought of like, what if we do a show but it's for Patreon and we just shit on something that we don't like a statue or something like
Oh, that's
that. Right?
every CW show. Honestly.
That's not yeah, but that's not something. That's probably something people get pissed about us doing in a
Yeah.
normal show. But we could probably put that behind there and be like, okay, we're gonna do this. We don't know. We're just kind of playing around with it, trying to figure out what to do. And
Yeah, it's
at the end of the day, I would hope people would want to just support the channel, like support
Right.
like
dude, and that's exactly what happened. Is people started flooding the Patreons,
Sure.
and I was like, oh my god, like I didn't expect like anybody to do this,
Right.
and all of a sudden it was like all these people were doing it.
That's so
and then
cool.
eventually it was like, hey, I want to contribute more. Like, is there a because we have tiers? Is there a more expensive tier I could get?
Yeah.
And so we had to restructure our what are they called? Bonuses, like the
Tiers.
I got
benefits.
you.
yeah, the benefits. Thank you. We had to restructure the benefits for the tiers, and like Zach said, one of the benefits is being in a chat with us. It's the base one, the $5. And so we started asking the Patreon members, like, hey, what's fair to move around
Right.
in these tier lists? And we got some really great feedback, and we were able to make a list that everybody was pretty comfortable with. And it just like completely shocked me, like
Well, and
how
and
much
you guys
people care.
But you guys also have a different situation because you guys do a lot of content, like a lot of
Tons.
different types of content. Right?
Almost
you do a
every
lot.
day of the week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dean,
which is
check private chat real quick.
fantastic. I think it's great. I think that is your community should give back to you guys for doing that. I think you guys put a lot of stuff out there, and I think it's really awesome. We do content if we want to, and it's not we like to do it, but we aren't we just aren't I don't know. It's a totally different situation, I feel like, and So I just don't know. I don't know if there's enough content to make it make sense or not. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm,
I mean,
we're
I mean,
still-
the worst thing that can happen is, no one does
Yeah.
it. Like, I mean, Mario,
Yeah.
you were our first Patreon. Dan was also in there right at the beginning. What did you guys think about that? I mean, at the time you were a listener. You weren't always a part of the network.
No, I mean it was a show that I love listening to you guys all the time. I love the back and forth between everybody that was on the network. And as soon as you had opened that up, I just wanted to show a little bit of love and appreciation for what you guys were doing.
Much appreciated.
So it's great.
Yeah,
I'm
and
all for it.
and now that they're like behind the scenes, we couldn't keep the show going at the level it's at now without them. Like
totally.
paying for all the stickers, paying for the fucking stamps, the mail, like
The equipment,
the
the
equipment,
hosting stuff.
like all the hosting fees. SoundCloud, StreamYard, like all that
GoDaddy.
shit, it adds up so fast. And with the whole coof, we had to use StreamYard. We didn't have a choice because what was that? The Google Hangouts that
Yeah, they
fucking
shut that
got
down.
hacked immediately.
Yeah.
Shut it down again.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't think people realize, and maybe they do, but it doesn't seem like a lot of people realize how much it takes to
Yeah.
do this kind of thing. Look, anybody can do it, but it does cost money. It's not. It's free. I mean,
Right.
it costs money,
Time,
and
effort.
You're also
Time.
producing something that's
Blood,
like,
sweat, and tears.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's time,
Last
man.
night's show was a 3-hour show, which was pretty long, but the amount of prep work throughout the week
Yeah,
was
sure.
probably easily
Dude.
quadruple that.
think about our. I mean, we do a show every other Friday, right? Called Group Therapy.
Group
and
Therapy.
it lasts forever. It just goes.
Dude, y'all
it-
shows are long.
goes
dude. I would
so
love to be
long.
on
I don't know
there,
how
but
you
I-
guys do that, man.
It goes so long. It goes so long, and it's just because we have a fun time and we're hanging out, and it always seems to go long just because we're having a good time. So like, it's not anything more than that. We don't plan it to be that way, but it just happens, and yeah. I mean, it's just time. Time is the big issue, and getting everyone on board to do stuff, and then on top of that, trying to find different people that are willing to come on to do stuff like the top 10 pre-order show or different things like that, or collector spotlights. It just takes time, and it's I don't know, it's just a lot. So
I'm glad that you guys hit 1,000. I think that's that opens up a lot of opportunities, and whether you guys go the full Monty or not.
Yeah.
I know right now.
Bros.
Yeah, I know right now I'm still thinking about ads on the videos. Like, I want to try it out for a month or two, see how it works.
Right.
And then if it's not, I mean, I doubt the amount of revenue we're going to get is going to be anything significant. We'll probably dial those back, because I think with obviously we had no idea how good Super Chat would be. I can tell you, just even from like one Super Chat is already pretty much more than what we've made in ad revenue since
Yeah.
we launched it. So
Right, totally.
because I mean, at the level we're at, right? If you're a Justin getting 1 million views on a channel, it might be different.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not super great. Sean says no ads. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Paul
Yeah, on the
Schreiber,
live
Paul Schreiber
shows-
says, let me get this comment real quick. I subscribe to the Patreon for the content only. The stickers and the merch are great, but I would sub without that stuff or less frequent merch. Yeah, that's an interesting thing there, because the merch does cost some money, but I would say most of what we spend on the Patreon goes to equipment, because
Right.
we spend a lot on equipment, and full disclosure, I paid for the shirt with my own money. So if you're a Patreon
Oh.
and you're like, damn, Zach just spent
What a great decision, though. What a great decision.
I was
Yeah.
mad.
He was
Now I have to buy a different mic. I told him like months ago. I was like, I'm gonna get the shirt.
Dude,
It's
Zach,
the
I've had
7D.
this thing for a while. It's fantastic.
I mean,
Like the best fucking mic out there.
I will
It's so
say the
good.
RE320 is an incredible mic.
Sure.
Honestly, I don't know which I like better. Right.
yeah.
Obviously, I've only used the Shure for one episode. I had the RE320 for a long time. But we were talking before the show. My goal is to get all of the guys on CW up to like an XLR mic, whether
Yeah,
that be
totally.
RE320, Shure SM7B. But yeah, that's the dream, right?
It takes a bit of figuring out. Once you figure out how to do it, like, I'm just saying, it takes like, you got to have like a little mixer.
Yeah, mic
thing
discipline.
and, like,
Mic discipline is
there's
a thing.
a lot. There's a lot.
It's a crash
to it.
course. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool,
How's everyone's week been, Dean? How was your week?
Pretty good, man. Still, like I said, we're just moving from the condo to over here, and I got a lot of fucking toys, man.
Hey man,
I got like a lot.
Never
like,
realize it until you move it. How much you
Dude.
have.
Yeah, it's fucking exhausting.
How did you? What did you do to move them, Dean? Did you actually like pack them super well? Didn't do it, or did you?
I still have all my 6 scales up and displayed, but I'm
Threw 'em
gonna
in
put those in
backpacks.
their box. But like my 3 3/4 inch Star Wars, I just bought sandwich bags to put one in each one,
Yeah.
and then bigger Ziploc bags for like my 6-inch figures.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like my Dragon Ball Z collection is huge, and I don't want
yeah.
to fucking find all the boxes and put them all in there. It's just it's
Taking too
literally
much
around
time.
the corner, so they're not gonna be like in a bag that long. So
Nice.
I figured that it's not gonna hurt them to be bagged, put in a box, brought over here, and taken out.
No,
so,
yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah, but I got a lot of boxes still, so I just put all the little boxes in big boxes, and then bring the boxes here.
I just recently got a storage unit because
wow.
I was like, F this. I got too much. Too much. We're changing our garage into like a move theater room ish type of
Nice.
thing, and so we have racks and stuff in there that we have in still storage stuff, and so we're trying to get rid of those. So, but it's nice for boxes. Nice to take some boxes over there. That's really nice.
Hell
Sure
yeah.
is.
Mario,
That's
how was your week been so far?
So far, so good. I mean, just living a dream, bro. Get to work and come home and hang out with y'all.
What a guy. Danny, how we doing today?
Good, good. It's the first time sharing a stream with Matt. It's an
I know
honor.
Yeah.
you look nervous, bro.
It's an honor and a privilege.
Get out of here,
Dude, he doesn't buy it unless you ask.
Danny. Are those
Hard.
Magic cases behind you?
Yeah,
Yeah. How do you like them?
I like them. They were a bitch to put together.
Yeah, they're freaking hard to put together, aren't they?
and the wait time.
Yeah.
Wait, did you cancel yours? Because weren't you
No,
supposed to?
I got these ones. I was supposed to get a whole setup, and I ended up going with the
Okay.
custom shelving. Yeah.
No, they
They look
look
great,
nice.
man.
Yeah. Thank you. I kind of started to feel like, as I was collecting, I was like, I really like open shelves, and that's not for everybody. I know Maji cases isn't for everybody. I actually like Maji cases, and I kept the ones that I had for 6 scale figures, and I turned it into kind of like a helmet thing.
No, that looks. I really
And
like
then,
that.
Yeah, and then the open shelf stuff. It's great. I love it.
Don't you worry
The
about
only
dust?
reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
dust-
my concern.
Ish. Not really. I mean, I dust pretty frequently. There's statues can handle some dust. Like I'm not too worried about that.
No, but-
if they get a lot of dust on them, then that's another thing.
John knows all about it.
I
don't know
can
how to
get
get
lazy.
I don't know how to get dust out of Chewy's hair. I have no idea how that works.
Oh, yeah.
You let his hair blow in the wind.
I
Yeah,
guess.
just get like an air compressor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just drive down the
yeah.
highway
Blow
and
it.
hold them out the door.
I hit it with some air every now and then, but yeah, that's tough.
Dylan, how we doing today?
Good. I was feeling really good when I hopped on, and I don't know if it's like my screen time today because we're busy season of work, but I just got an instant headache. Like
Oh, no.
5 minutes
Aw.
into streaming here. But other than that, I'm good.
Here, I got something for you. Here you go.
Oh man.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
dirty.
kidding. Yeah, dude, I know what you mean. Sometimes I get in here because I have a big ass light right here, and it's like that's usually where I wear the hat, so I can like not blind myself. But yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I like
and,
that nice wide shot, Zach.
Thank
That's
you.
a nice, very
angel.
wide shot. I like that.
Thank you. Coming from you, that means a lot.
No, it looks great.
What a guy.
Matt, your
Uh,
fucking like
Angel, bro.
whole shit is fucking phenomenal.
Dude,
No,
Matt
I
always
know.
has like the perfect setup.
Dude, like
really
Video
does.
and audio.
I have
It
so
makes
many
me
empty
jealous.
shelves.
It makes me jealous. The good looks, the great voice, the great setup.
No, I
Matt's
have
got
a
it all.
child. I have a child's voice. People,
what
we
camera
can
are you
agree.
using?
Sony A6400.
God damn it.
It's nice.
The dream.
Look at this fucking guy. I saw
John-
one today. I was like, oh, look at this cute little camera. It's like, oh, it records in 4K. And I was like,
Zach,
it's like
is it-
little, like this big. I was like, that might be nice to get. And I clicked on the link. It was like $700.
Yeah.
The fuck?
The problem is that it's just it. I'm not playing on a fair, like field here because that's what I do for a living. So like, I can write these things off. So everything I buy,
All right, well, get one
lights,
and write it
cameras,
off for me.
you know, I can write it all off. So it's it's just not fair. But I love it. I love that you guys are upgrading your stuff. It's fantastic. I've seen you guys kind of just
The
slowly,
journey, man.
It's
yeah,
so
we
cool.
put together a little video for the Patreon with our first ever live. It was
Oh,
like
dude,
our
that was
first ever
so
live
good.
stream.
Yeah,
Our first ever.
Can you pull that up?
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I'll
That's a
pull it
good
up.
idea,
I'll pull it up.
actually.
John, while I'm grabbing this, we had a discussion about beer. You said, and I quote, Corona was the nastiest beer of all time, which I took great personal offense
Dude,
to.
you were shocked me
hate-
how much you hated that comment.
Dude, you were drinking that beer like it was a gift from the gods, and then you were like, "This beer fucking sucks." And I was like, "Fucking what?"
I said the Corona is like drinking piss.
That's what. Yeah, well, that's not any better than what I
But yeah,
said.
he was still like this.
While he was still
He
chugging
was
it.
giving it the Jamba, dude. So what beer is good in Canada that I can taste test?
A nice Canadian beer. I don't know if you guys have it, but it is a Canadian beer. You guys have Sleeman?
I don't
Seaman.
anything that sounds
Wait,
like that.
seaman?
I'm not putting some fucking Sleeman in my mouth, dude. You kidding me?
I'm telling you.
I don't know
man,
what
that
you guys
stuff's-
doing up in Canada, but I'm not putting no fucking Sleeman in my mouth.
I'm
John,
more of an
you just said
international.
you're-
I'll tell you that
drinker.
much, America.
I don't drink that home brew, but I like a good international beer.
Sleeman? I can't.
That's
I
a
don't-
tough name.
Sleeman
can't
Honey
tell.
Brown.
That's a hard
I
hard
can't
sell.
process enough jokes
It's a hard one
right
to
now.
swallow, dude.
Like there's so much.
It's a really hard one to swallow.
I'd rather
actually,
drink a beer called Corona in 2021 than
I'm
drink a
pissed I didn't
motherfucking
think
beer
of that
called
joke.
Sleeman.
I've heard
Ever.
sleeping goes down. Better,
I didn't
better
survive.
days than
Jesus.
But it is a privilege to finally stream with Matt. Nice to meet you in person,
Oh,
buddy.
dude, it's
Well,
fantastic.
in person. Yeah.
Nice to meet you,
That's
too,
the
man.
coolest.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's just I always catch I try to catch as much as I can of you guys when I can, but
Molson, that's what I was thinking.
So, Sean usually says
I
John
remem-
loves
dude, I remember these.
Sleeman.
How long ago was this, Zach? How long?
This was probably fall of 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I have my
remember some of these.
Spider-Man Gamerverse figure right there.
Yeah. So we'll watch this real quick, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes. The Regal
And this
Robot.
was like,
podcast. Jesse had a dream, and we're fulfilling the dream.
It's real bad.
We're doing it.
It's like looking at your yearbook photos.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Manny.
Zach, were you popping there a little bit?
Welcome to this week's episode of.
That was my water, baby.
This is the weekly podcast for my
No, I'm
friends
saying
that
on the
talk about
video, man.
things that
Back in the
make
day.
sure
Come on.
this
No, I never popped ever.
Oh, look, the pop sockets.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. This is the
Zach
weekly
Dean, look
sounds
at
like
your
a baby.
Dean, look at your beautiful hair.
that matter the most.
Oh, I know, dude.
It's fantastic.
Hey guys, my
Someone,
name is Zach.
James is like, when are you gonna
Welcome to
cut
this
it? I
episode
was
of
like,
Collecting
never.
Weekly. This is the weekly podcast where my friends and I.
That
talk about
reaction
the
was
things
timeless,
that
dude.
matter
What
the
the
most to
fuck
us
said
this week in
that?
collecting.
That's right.
What was the
Yeah.
magical
Dude, I lost that
moment
shirt. I
happened
used to wear it on
in
every stream. I lost it.
episode 10?
How did you lose it? It
I
probably
don't know.
got
I
stolen.
can't. I can't find it.
Talking a
Yeah.
moment up
That was
there
his
with
favorite shirt.
Manny's.
Yeah, it was.
character
Ian Seagal.
story, You know, one of the greatest moments of this.
Yeah, let's fast forward.
So
this.
what do you want me to do? Am I supposed to be funny? I'll be funny.
Yeah,
I
give
don't
us the
talk-
funny cold open.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be funny.
Back before we knew how microphones worked.
Dude, I look so much better with facial hair.
Why
Jesus
else-
Christ.
Oh God, dude.
I don't
you're not-
come. Look, bro.
I
Look,
miss
bro. I
Damien.
don't show up on these things as a guest to be kicked off because
Just kidding.
Not dude.
if you listen to Small Talk, you know I'm funny. Funnily
Hey guys,
stupid.
my name
though.
is Zach.
I'm Dean.
Welcome to this week's episode of
Let me guess,
Collecting
that's
Weekly.
NECA.
It's a weekly podcast.
Yeah,
where
that's
my
when
friends
I
and
got the
talk
NECA
about
Batman, the
things
superior
that matter
figure.
the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's
Yeah, let's
week's
fast forward a
episode
bit.
of
Look at
that, we
Collecting
got
Oh,
Weekly.
look,
Oh, look at that
Oh,
beautiful
oh,
face
oh.
right there.
Talk about the
Damn.
things that matter the most to us this week
awesome.
in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank our
I
That's
think
when
I
I
was
had
like
that one
shaking.
computer for 4 days, and then it died on me.
Yeah. I don't even know if it was 4
Welcome
days.
to this week's
Are you
episode
guys
of
gonna ever?
It's a weekly podcast.
I know
with my
you've done
friends
it maybe once or twice. Are you gonna go back to doing some in-person stuff at all, or?
So we actually have a so one of our favorite local shops, they had a fantastic store, but it was really small. And we would try to do meetings there, but our last one we were already too big for that store, like in terms of how many people were coming to this sort of event.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, for sure.
And obviously we're big boys too, so it doesn't help. And so he moved 4 doors down to like a space that used to be for like gymnastics. So it's a huge store
It's like 3
space.
times the size. Literally.
Did
Like
he get
3
the
of those
smell of like?
stores.
Did he get the smell of feet and all that?
Well, actually, I'm
powder
sorry.
and all that
I think
shit
it
out?
was a fencing place.
Oh, okay.
Like a
Probably not much better.
yeah. I don't know if that's any better, but he just
doesn't smell
expanded,
like feet.
and so
That's good.
yeah. So we have a tentative plan to do a live show at his store, and like maybe like have some stickers and like have some
Cool.
people come out. So yes, but I don't think we'll ever go fully back because it's hard when you do 2 people in person and then like 2 people not in person. StreamYard gets a little testy with that. So I don't know that we'll ever go back fully. We've done a few test streams with it, and it works fine. It's just a lot of like dials that you have to move.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know at some point we're gonna get a new house, and I do want to have a formal studio built in there where I can have like a permanent setup.
That'd be cool.
So yeah, I'd love to do that, but I just think that I used to be very against streaming. I always thought like the show was more real,
Sure.
when
Yeah.
everyone was in person.
That's what I was just
But-
gonna say. Like this, that's so weird to hear your point of view now from when I was in small talk. Like someone, I think it was John or Mario asked me the other day after one of our streams how often I was on back in the day, and I was like, not much. I couldn't because you guys were in person so much, and when you weren't, it was a big deal, and then I was on usually. But it's just so strange how you've pivoted.
Yeah, you get access to more guests, but also like, when we do the show, like now I just come in here, turn on the computer, turn on the camera, turn on the light. Everything's where it needs to be.
Yeah, right there.
It takes like to set it up for the in-person, like mic checking. I mean, it's like maybe 45 minutes, and then the tear down, cleaning
It takes
up.
even longer because I don't help
Dean
him.
never throws away his trash. I mean, this motherfucker just shows up and leaves
Okay,
trash all over my house.
to be fair, I have to drive 30 plus minutes to his
But
house.
you can't take the trash out to the garbage.
You
when
owe
walk
me
by
that,
it?
at least.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Jeez.
Dude, the amount of gas I take to get there and back home, you
The
can
amount of
throw away my
gas you put
trash.
in my house, dude. You're
And-
kidding me? I'm-
dude, my trash is like a cup or something. I don't bring fucking a bunch of shit. It's
Nah,
like I
dude, you bring
a cup.
food, and then there's like a fucking
No.
food bag I gotta
I
throw
do.
away.
I used to bring snacks, so I used to bring
There
gummies
was
for the
snack,
table.
there was gummy garbage.
and then I would
all
have
over.
a cup of a drink. He's a fucking.
But isn't that
Fucking
just
guy.
like proper house
You're-
guest
you
etiquette just to
freaking
pick up after
accuser.
yourself?
Thank
bro?
you. First, he took a
mean,
fucking
come on.
shit in my bathroom.
No,
then
I
denied
have.
it.
That is a fucking lie. I don't do that.
I'm sorry, man. I don't believe you. Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's great to be in person, and I love it. But Manny, Sweet Angel, worked out some of the biggest kink we had, which was a stupid new this week chant that we could never nail down because of StreamYard lag.
Yeah.
So once we fix that, Trendy Tech Talk just brings the trash bag from his house, basically. Yeah. So once COVID's done, I think I'd like to do some more stuff.
Yeah, sure.
We have like ideas for like little setups that we can do. But full production, like in person, it's a pain in the ass. And
Yeah.
I hear you.
I just like being able to finish recording, and it's like 12 a.m. and I'm like,
Yeah, just click a button or two.
Absolutely,
walk
and you're
away.
right. You can get a lot more people and a lot more different things to. You have a lot more access to things, which is true.
yeah. So we kind of mentioned this just a bit, and I know with your blessing, we were going to talk about this.
Yeah.
This Regal Robot situation. So this was a post. This guy says, as some of you may know, my Rancor arrived broken from Regal Robot. The statue meant a lot to me as the character is what got me into VFX and led me to eventually be a sculptor for Phil Tippett. $3,000 later, and this is the reply I get. I'm so upset. I feel screwed over. Their response was, as soon as it arrives, I will have the team repair him and get him shipped back as quickly as possible. Thanks again for all your understanding. For context, this was the... Let's see, make sure I'm sharing the right post. This was the particular bit of damage here. And you guys had a great discussion on your Friday show. My mom was real upset that I was listening to that show the entire time I was at her house, but I was like, no, I need this is an
It's
event.
very
I need
important.
to hear,
Yeah, very important.
I need to hear what's going on here. And I guess we'll talk, repair versus replace. Obviously, there's things that we may not know. I'll say that right off the bat.
Yeah.
I will also say Tom, by what I've heard from you guys, is one of the best restoration people in the business.
It is, yeah.
And I believe that's how their business started, and now they're kind of getting into making these replicas of props. I think, based on some of the other photos that we've seen, I think something like this could have been avoided through packaging. I know that you guys addressed that as well.
Yep.
But the thing that I think kind of turned me off from some of the points that you guys were making, and I'll just say right off the bat, obviously, you could have this thing packaged in a perfect packaging.
Yes.
And that will not guarantee that it will arrive safely.
Right.
The handling
Correct.
From these carriers, I know they claim to try to get your package as safe as possible, but sometimes things do happen. You might get a careless delivery driver. It could fall off, something. But I think that the one thing that I didn't agree with necessarily in the discussion was that adding this packaging would really drive the cost up, right? That the collectors will have to pay for it. And of course you're right. Anything that cuts into any bottom line, that cost does get passed on to somebody, whether it be the company or the consumer.
Yeah.
But when I look at, I'm sorry.
By the way, real quick, that's not a reason to not have good packaging. I think all of us would. There's so many companies that have very good packaging that all of us are paying for, right?
Yeah.
And it's just part of the product. So I don't condone poor packaging. I don't think any of us do. The problem is there's a lot of assumptions happening with this whole thing. There's a lot of people assuming that they know possibly what it would take to make a new one, or replace it completely, or possibly what it takes to actually make very nice packaging for something like this to keep it even safer. And all I think we were trying to say is, look, I don't think we know the full story behind all that. I think it's maybe there's something in the middle, because I think it does add, it would add some cost, but I don't think it would be astronomical. I think
when you're talking a $3,000 piece, what's an extra $50?
I know.
Even if the company had to eat it, because I think by this point there was 6 to 8 that were damaged, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And at $3,000 a pop, that's anywhere from $18,000 to $21,000 in goods that I think from what I've heard, they were all in a state that they could be repaired. But I think the thing that concerned me was they really wanted to preserve the integrity of the edition size, which is 83. But what if something had arrived in a state that was irreparable? If it was just completely shattered, where structurally you couldn't put that together. I think that's my concern, one. And then two, if I understand correctly, this was just from the comments on the post, there were several artist proofs that were sent out to some people like Adam Savage that weren't technically a part of the 83 run. They're slash APs.
Yep.
I think what it boils down to is, and I actually believe one of your group members did take him up on this offer. I don't know if they actually ever finalized it, but Miguel was saying, well, will someone trade me their perfect one for my repaired one? Or would the shop be willing to do that?
Yes, and I'll say this. I'd be willing to do it. The problem is, that's how much I trust Tom and their team. I honestly would have no problem with it. I've talked with Jason and some other people about this. I just never offered that because I don't have the original box. I don't know how the hell I would ship the thing anywhere. I don't know how that would work.
You risk it being damaged and shipping.
Yeah, and not to mention that I don't want to do that. That sucks. For me to have to haul this thing to the freaking, place to ship the damn thing. It's really annoying. And so I guess I just don't care enough to do that. But at the same time, I'd be willing to do it because I know it would come back looking. The thing that I think people are missing with the Regal the Rancor is that when you look at the thing, you're like, this is one solid piece, right? It's one piece of resin or whatever, and it's a thing. There's nothing, if it breaks, then this is a problem. Well, from what I am starting to understand, I think the Rancor is 6 different pieces or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That they put together, right? But I promise you, I can't see a seam. I cannot find a seam on the thing. I can't find it anywhere. Now, I know those seams are in places where it's friendly to them, right? They can cover it much easier than just let's say a crack or a break. But I believe, I just think that Tom and them are amazing at doing what they do, right? Restore wise. And I think, like I said on our channel, our show, if it, and this is honestly, this is an open question. I still don't know completely how I feel about this. If the people that are making the piece, right, the actual original makers of the piece, if you send it back to them and they repair something, and it's as good as new, it's structurally sound, it's painted exactly how it was, and it's sent back to you, is that repaired? Is what I'm trying to figure out, because you got to understand, like, there's Rancors going around the office at Regal Robot, going from this paint person to this paint person. You tell me that no mistakes happened at all, right? All I'm saying is that I think there's probably a lot of people that have, possibly even me, that have a Rancor that's already been repaired, that you have
that you would never know.
You would never know. So, I mean, I think what could have been better, and the frustrating thing is, this is, maybe this is a bad thing, but like, if Tom and those guys just never said anything,
Right.
If they let him send it back, and
How
they
would
never
you know?
said anything, you wouldn't know. And now, is that immoral on their part? I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that. Like,
I want to just clarify one thing. DA says, Phil, is this the entire packaging? Fill it with some. This was, I believe, part of the unboxing. You guys had pulled some of these layers out already.
Correct.
But this is just an idea to show you what, kind of like if you were to take a bisection of what the packaging was like. So I wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows, and this is one of the frustrating things in this whole like situation is people posting things that it's like, it's not the full story, right? It's kind of frustrating, but at the same time, I get it, it's fine. But that thing was chock full of packaging. I had no problems, and you got to understand too, the boxes that they use, the Regal Robot uses, are these upgraded like hardcore, like you can stand on top of the box, like it ain't getting broken. Like that box is going to come to you really, really nice. So, and I think Miguel even said in his post that the box was totally, I think he said it was fine. He said it was on its side, which I think is what worried him. But I think the box itself was fine. I just think it seems like it may have been maybe mishandled in the shipping or something. I don't know.
And that's my thing. I mean, this is not a new phenomenon. No. Everyone expects some shit to break. Now, the edition size is 83, right?
Yes.
They should have at least made... I'll give you an example. First four figures. My sister collects their Sonic the Hedgehog statues.
Yeah.
They do a regular statue, and then they do the special edition statue, which is the same thing, but it lights up. And they only make however many pre-orders they get. And then they add a percentage on top of that in case some shit breaks.
Yeah.
Now, if my sister receives the statue broken, which she did, destroy the statue. It's no longer a good statue. Destroy it. Send us the proof. We'll send you a replacement piece of the edition size. So, if the statue arrives broken, it's already going to be destroyed. Your edition size is still kept, and you have the remaining, percentage that you made on top of that.
Yeah.
If no statues arrive broken, destroy the ones that you have sitting there, because the statues would have been destroyed if they were broken anyway.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's standard.
And we're talking about a $3,000 statue. The first four figure, those are like $300 to $600.
Yes, and this is where I think. Look, guys, and just so everyone knows, at the end of the day, we're just trying our best to like.
Oh yeah.
We don't know.
None of us work for Regal Robot.
No,
we're just collectors chatting about this.
Yeah, and I'll say this, and people know we mentioned it on the show. We are biased. We know Tom. We like Regal Robot. Honestly, the frustrating thing about all this is that not one person is going to make what Regal Robot make. Right?
Yeah.
So you need them to be amazing and do good work and keep doing work, right? Because there's nobody that's going to make what they're making. I can promise you that. And so, and the stuff they have coming down the line is just ridiculous. So like, I think I think that I do think that their packaging needs some upgrades, and I from what I understand, the next thing that they're releasing, I believe they do have some more custom packaging with what they're releasing. So, from what I understand, that's they've already, even before all this, they started upgrading as well, right?
Yeah.
What I think is really interesting about this whole discussion is I've talked to Jason about this a lot, that I think there is a bit of a different view on what this is, right? Tom does not look at the Rancor as a statue. That's not how he views the Rancor. He views the Rancor as a prop replica, and he fixes prop replicas every single day and send it to people that need, that want like their freaking Batman or screen use Batman suit fixed or something like that. Like he does crazy restorations. And so, but we look at the Rancor and we see a statue, right?
Yeah,
because
from our lens.
ultimately that's really what it is, right? And so you look at that and you go, well, yeah, if it breaks, it should be replaced. But I think they're just looking at it through a different lens.
Yeah.
And saying,
I mean,
that's
I
not
didn't
to
think
say
of it
that.
like that.
That's not to say you're not wrong. I think what the problem is with the whole like replace thing is I think there's some licensing issues that we're not even privy to, that we have no idea about.
I think that's what Eddie was trying to get
Eddie
to.
says, how do you know they're allowed to make extra? That's a good point, but you have to imagine also if they're only making 83, I mean, what happens if someone bumps one off the table?
Right.
And
I think
that's a standard. Anytime there's a numbered of anything, not just statues, figures, anything numbered that has limits like that, there are extras, I promise you. I talk to companies monthly that
I
do
think
these
it's a little
sorts of
different.
things.
I think you're right. I think that the problem I think is that, and honestly, from what I've understood, I'm still very limited in my knowledge of how Regal Robot works with Disney and all that kind of stuff, but I can promise you that they are so far up Regal Robot's ass on all kinds of things, and it has to do with Anovos being a shitty seller.
Jesus, we could talk for a long time about Anovos.
It has to do with a lot of these companies that just shit on all the people that they're selling to, and now Disney goes, we're going to lock down everything, and we want to look at everything. We want to have say over every single thing, right? And so I think there's something that we're not seeing there, and all I'd say with that is like, it's just an assumption of like, look, I just don't want to like assume that I know about this. I don't know what to tell you about the edition size. I really don't.
The one thing also, I think you guys made such a great point. I think it may have been Steve that made this point. Eddie says, well, they just make another one because one is destroyed. So we have this issue come up every once in a while with Patreon. Like if we misorder a product, right, it might cost us $60 to get 50 stickers. It's like $70. And if for some reason, like maybe I give some out to like my parents or, a listener comes in, we'll give them a sticker. And when it comes down to doing the Patreon, I'm like, shit, I'm 2 stickers short. To order just 2 stickers is like $30 because you have to order 10, and you pay for the setup, the proof, the print, the shipping.
Yeah.
So you're paying quite a bit. So to that point, I think you guys made that point. It's like, if you have all the materials, resin is very cheap, right? Rotocasting is difficult, but the cost of materials just to make a cast of those 6 parts, isn't tremendous compared to the cost of resetting all that stuff up to just make one.
Well, and something else to think about too is, I know when you get towards the end, and look, for you guys to say that they should make, we can have the discussion. They should make from the very beginning. They should make X many extras, right? Just in case. You can have that discussion. I'm okay. I don't know where I can't completely stand on that. I'm totally fine having that discussion. I just think, I know that when you get to the end of the run, from what I understand, the mold and everything else is degrading, and it's starting to become very hard to make the thing you're making at that point. And so, and I don't think Regal Robot.
That's very true.
Yeah, and I don't think Regal Robot are willing to go the extra step and go, we will make as many as we can from this degraded thing. So I don't know.
Which is fine, but then you have to have backup plans. You have to
Sure.
have a QC ready
Sure.
to go and fine in line and almost perfect for its processes and your next steps. Then, at
And
that
Dylan,
point.
that would be you're not wrong, and that would be something you'd have to plan from the beginning. And the problem there is that their policy, right? Their repair policy makes it so that they don't really think about that ahead of they didn't think about that ahead of time, because you got to understand too that Regal Robot, like we think about Regal Robot and we're like they've been around forever, right? They're making all this crazy shit. They really have not. They have not been around doing what they're doing for a very long time. It's still slightly new to them, and they're still learning as they go along, which is why I think they're going to be upgrading some packaging. They're going to be doing some different things. I would just hesitate to say that they're going to change everything because of this. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Which is fair.
When I first heard this story, like I wanted to jump straight to kind of like the collector's point of view.
Sure.
When you sit back and think about the whole situation, yeah, okay, their packaging was poor. That needs to be improved. I'm sure they're going to look at the situation. They're going to take accountability and fix the packaging issue. Check. Now, the buyer has to understand as well. They have to take some accountability as well. When you're buying something of this nature, call the company, go on their site, do a little bit of research, and look at their return policy. I'm sure this policy didn't just pop out of thin air, right?
No, we didn't know about it though either. To be fair, like I think they caught a lot of people by kind of surprise when all of a sudden they found out about this. I just think there's some people that actually care about this versus some that don't. I look at Miguel's damage and I go, oh, Tom can fix that. Like that's not a big deal to me.
Yeah.
If I know there's, I've heard of other people's Rancors coming in and having not damage, but like some paint issues here and there because it's hand painted, like it's gloss and stuff like that. And they send them back and they fix it and they send it back and it's no big deal, right?
That's his entire job is restoring,
correct,
restoring screen used props.
But
at the end of the day, they're the. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's to me it comes down to the amount of damage. For me,
of course.
For me, and I think every collector has a different level of damage they would be willing to have repaired, and that's just a personal opinion. I don't know how. I don't blame Miguel for not wanting that. That's that's past his level of feeling okay about this.
Yeah,
And
you're right. Because when I got my Rex, the tip of the tail was broken.
Yeah.
And it was literally the last one that Chronicle had. Chronicle was distributing some Iron Studio stuff at that time, and the price that I got it for with shipping was way less than with because I'm shipping from Dallas to San Antonio rather than California to San Antonio, and so they were like, we could take it back. We'll pay for the shipping, and we're just gonna use it as a display here at the office or whatever we do with it. Or we can give you money back and you can repair it yourself. You could pay for someone to repair it professionally.
Right.
Whatever you want is what we will do. But I did not have the option of getting a new one, right?
Right.
But like you said, everyone's different. The amount of money they gave me back was about a third of the piece.
Wow. Sure.
And I was like, I'll take a third of the piece back. Like, this is no problem.
Why not?
Fixed it. There was some paint rubs that needed to be repaired. Easy enough, few hours and paint, and I love this piece. But for me, that was a degree of damage that I could live with. Right.
Yeah,
This maybe for this collector it's not. But anytime I walk near that statue, I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere near the fucking tail. I'll tell you that.
But
much.
that's the thing. The debate isn't whether it's going to look good or not. There's no doubt in my mind that guy will not be able to tell it's been repaired. But in the future, if he wants to sell it, that's something he's going to have to disclose. Otherwise, it's disingenuous, and someone's going to feel like they got ripped off.
Right,
Maybe
and
they
this
never
is-
find out it's been repaired.
And this
but now
is-
it's on the internet.
Exactly. And I understand that. I just so everyone understands, I understand. I'm I'm not like this. The only side that I'm gonna take here is Regal Robot side. That's not the case. I understand Miguel's.
Matt, you're a fucking angel.
concern.
Who's gonna
No,
accuse you?
I'm just saying it.
Oh, it got
I
spicy
understand.
over there.
It did. I understand. We can talk about that too. How like nobody had our back. By the way, I mean some people did, but I find it. I think it's an issue where look, I see Miguel's point, and I feel horrible for him because if he gets a refund, he wants the piece.
Right.
Like
It's a very
he really
sentimental
wants.
piece for him.
Absolutely, and it should be.
Yeah.
It's an amazing. The Rancor is
So-
amazing.
Yeah, but they're offering him solutions. That's the thing.
I'm kind of playing this by ear. I saw the after effects. I didn't see it happen at the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, dude,
so
wow.
his
was
his
crazy.
issue,
Like 300
right?
comments.
His issue, right, was I think that's why I think I probably just didn't want to
checked
spend
out.
the energy.
It
but
took Danny all day to catch
crazy.
up.
yeah, I don't think I wanted to do that. So the issue is that he didn't want it repaired, right? He just wanted,
wanted
it
a
brand
new
new.
one.
Correct.
So, like, yeah, to a certain extent, Matt, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying like there are
okay.
like the problem with businesses, and I know like John, you said it's different, but businesses, when you're a business, the whole point of a business is that you're not different. Like either you eventually either you won't have black and white lines to cross on certain aspects, and then you run into circumstances like this. Once those are established with either the, like I said, the QC, or you have backup plans that won't end in something like this, then it won't happen. But to his issue, what you're talking about, Matt, kind of figuring out that he just simply was poking holes in the solutions. Yeah, there's a line there.
Yeah, and
as
I
well.
feel
lot
bad.
of
Look,
words there.
and guys, please, all of you, please feel free to disagree with me. I have no problems.
I would never, Matt.
discussing this and trying to figure out like, trying to understand this better. We've had to deal with a lot this past week. It's been
Yeah. And
crazy.
I just want to remind everyone, like, we're all just talking heads, right? We don't work for
Yeah,
these companies. We have
No.
friends that we're friends with some of these companies. I've never talked to Tom, so I don't really know him that well. But surely if this was a 1-6 corner situation, like you said, we would have some bias that we would approach it with, or a Watto scrapyard thing. Manscaped, not so much.
Sure.
I mean, they're cool, but you know.
well,
How dare you,
yeah,
Zach?
yeah.
Dude, the tune's gonna change when they accept us.
Well, and that said, like if I wish to goodness we got stuff. We don't. We just don't. No one gives a shit about what we do, and so like we don't get anything from anybody. We have to buy all. We buy all our own collectibles, and it's going to be like that probably forever, and that's okay. That's totally fine. But that said, and some people have mentioned that like, look, at the end of the day, Regal Robot Tom, they're not your friend. They're like a company, right?
Associate.
It's just an associate, and it's a company, and I understand that, but I do feel some loyalty and friendship. We've had Tom on. We've talked to him. He's a really nice guy, and he look, at the end of the day, he might be a tiny bit disconnected because he collects like screen use shit. Like we don't do that. Like we don't collect that kind of stuff. It's a totally different game. But he used to be a collector, and so he does understand that. He does understand the situation. He understands why someone would want something actually replaced versus repaired. Yeah. But I don't.
I think like in Zach's situation with the T-Rex, it's like, hey, your only option is to get it fixed, or you just send it back.
Right.
Then it's like, okay, well then, if you're repairing it, then it's no longer new. I should get some money back.
Right.
At the very least.
Yeah, 100%.
If it was me personally, I would just take my money back and I'd go buy the Sideshow one. It's bigger, isn't it?
It's bigger, but it's
well,
uncomparable.
the Sideshow did make a comparably sized piece, but it's total different because the Regal Robot one does have the lineage.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I don't know how special the Rancor is to this guy. To me,
it's what got him into
Rancor.
VFX. So it was, it was.
Oh, okay.
The prop particularly had a lot of.
Yeah, to me, I don't. It's a fucking Rancor. I would just go buy the biggest, baddest one I could find. That's probably not $3,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, I apparently it's sentimental to this dude. So like,
Well, and
Yeah. That's the thing is like, if it's like sentimental, like if the Rancor was what got me into visual effects, I think I would still get it. You know, I'd still take it because it means so much, and you know it's a one of a kind piece.
Yeah,
but
and
it always
I'm
hurts.
83.
It hurts. Like we talk but I'll tell you right now, I'm the type of collector. If I got a statue in and I saw it was damaged, I'd be heartbroken. I would be heartbroken.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Eddie made this point, and it's a little fucked up. But he was like, "It's like falling in love with a born again virgin," and I was like, "Yeah, but if you were dating a girl that was if you were dating a girl that was a born again virgin, but you know for a fact she had a train ran on her, you're never gonna look at her the same way." Like, yeah, it's After Dark. I mean, that's you know what I mean? Like, it's like it's a beautiful statue or prop replica. But deep down, it was fucking
had a train on it.
Yeah, it was ruined at some point.
Yeah, when you look at it, you'll always remember that.
The debate isn't whether Regal Robot can fix it. Of course they can. It's going to look amazing. But it's like, I didn't pay for a repaired statue.
But Matt brought up a good point.
I paid for a new one.
Yeah.
Matt brought up a great point. I think that if Regal Robot would have said, sure, we'll take it back, they would have fixed it, sent it back, and you wouldn't even be able to tell.
Yeah.
Right.
But
And
like Matt said,
but that's not more. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, because like I said with Gilbert, he could turn around and sell it and not disclose that. But that's a moral.
But do you think that if it's
who bought it?
Miguel.
Miguel, I'm sorry. Yeah,
we can call him Gilbert if you want to.
If they were if he sent it back and they fixed that, if they did a fantastic repair job, like brand new, you can't even tell. You think it would be morally wrong to not report it on a sales thread when you're trying to sell it?
1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like just like a salvage car,
even if
too, right?
if a
When
car,
something-
like if the
car's been
dealer
damaged, like
repairs it.
beyond the structure's been completely gone, they have to total it, right? But they always have to disclose whether or not if something was
Well,
completely
that's a little bit
salvaged.
different. That's for insurance purposes and all that
Well,
sort of thing.
it's still kind of the same thing, though.
that's
John.
structurally intended.
First of all, if he loved the Rancor so much, he's definitely not going to sell it. So I don't think that's a thing. But
Yeah.
I don't know if
what if he loses his job and he has to?
I don't know if having to disclose it is.
Real quick,
so
let's
bad.
keep the lights on. We need to talk about balls. With the right tool, your balls can be smooth as silk, but you wouldn't trust your balls with any old tool. With the brand new Lawnmower 4.0 by Manscaped, your balls are in good hands. The Lawnmower 4.0 has skin-safe technology with a replaceable ceramic blade, so you can manscape with confidence. It comes included with an LED for grooming after dark, wireless charging, and it's waterproof for grooming anywhere. Lawnmower 4.0 is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide, and if you've been slacking during quarantine and are ready to get back into the game, check out manscaped.com and use code CollectingWeekly for 20% off your order and free worldwide shipping. Your balls will thank you.
Speaking about balls, Scott, what's going on, buddy? Welcome.
Yeah, Scott. Peps fell asleep.
I
He
fell asleep. Sorry.
He fell asleep.
What the hell, Scott?
I woke up and I thought, oh shit.
Eddie, don't send him the mic, bro. He
I
fucking
feel
fell
it.
asleep.
We're in the same time zone.
Looked at my
It's
phone and I'm like, oh shit. I'll
Sorry,
jump on
Peps.
anyway.
You came in the heat of battle.
Yeah.
Let's change
This is a great
pace.
discussion. I mean, again, nobody on here is on one side or the other. Like, it's just a discussion. We're not fucking.
Yeah, I'm sure Tom's a great guy. I'm sure Miguel's a great guy. I know Matt's a great guy. But I think they got a lot of shit from a lot of people for it. But,
I didn't think
not from us, but from.
Yeah, Matt made a really good point that I didn't think about at all, which is important why we have these discussions.
Hey,
with
sorry,
the whole,
guys.
No problem.
It's okay.
With
You
the
missed our ball
whole
thing. We had
What happened?
We had to talk about balls.
We did, man. Let's get that.
We had to keep the lights on.
With the whole that it's to the Tom, it's not a statue; it's a replica.
Yeah.
Never crossed my mind. Probably never would have. So like that's important why we have these discussions.
Well,
like to hear a new
here's-
side and be like, oh, okay.
Here's an interesting question, and I don't know. I don't fully know the answer to this either. But like, if an artist makes a painting, a piece,
art.
something,
Makes an art. Put
they
that
make
on
an
a
art,
t-shirt.
and if they paint something and send it to you, and something happens to that painting, right? Something gets smudged or something. I don't know what happens.
Torn.
Yeah, whatever.
The canvas gets ripped.
When you send it back to them, do they paint you a new one? I know it's not exactly the same, but I think you have to understand. I think Regal Robot are looking at this as more of an art piece, prop replica type of thing.
It makes
It's
sense,
just
yeah.
Similar context.
It's a
Dude.
different type of like mentality, and I'm not saying it's okay either. I'm just saying that that's kind of the mentality.
Yeah.
And I think moving forward, to be honest, the stuff that they're going to end up coming out with eventually, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to get these things and be like, holy shit, like this thing is unbelievable. You know what I mean? And so maybe that will start to change how people think of some of these collectibles and being okay with having something repaired. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say because
I don't know, but if you want to check out some beautiful art restoration, Baumgartner Restoration on YouTube.
Oh, dude, I
fucking
love that channel. Dude.
Incredible, Matt.
just restoring,
Like
Dude,
painting
I'm
for
talking
shit,
like
dude.
hundreds of years old paintings.
Oh,
And,
crazy.
Dude, it's wild. I'll send you the link.
It's great. Let's put a bow on this, Matt. I know you guys dealt with a lot of shit for it. Let's move on.
Guys,
Well,
give Matt a hug in the chat.
Well, one thing I will say, and I appreciate it, guys, and is the only, I would say the only disappointment on our side of things was how like we just got like
Savages.
like people just ran over us with a train, and we don't.
They ran
have
a
any-
train on you.
We don't have anything to do it with this.
You know what's fucking wild? Honestly,
They're
and
boring.
dude, 100% kudos to you, Matt and Steve.
Kept the
you
chat
guys,
open.
you left that shit open.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd be fucking blocking people left and right. Like, you
I know.
motherfucker. Like,
We
you're
tried-
fucking saints, bro.
We tried
You know the
really
fuck
hard.
you're talking to?
No, but
we
they
tried-
handle
we
it.
tried
They handled
really
it professionally because
Hold on, wait, Zach, play this. I'll pull it up. Go ahead.
they handled it well
Play this,
because
and
it's
it's not even ready.
you know you kind of you if you do you're damned, if you don't you're damned. If they had closed the chat, then it's like, well, you're not letting the collectors speak and give
Right.
opinions and so. So I think you made the best decision. Let the collectors get it out.
Yeah.
Get it all out. Whatever it is, what it is, and that's it. Now it's over.
yeah, and-
They're gonna
and-
deal with it.
And at the end of the day, it was it was kind of one of those things that where it was like, I think there was a point in the chat where someone said that one of the admins said something, but the others haven't said anything, and that says a lot about how they feel about this. And we're literally trying not to say anything so that it doesn't like inflame things or, doesn't make people mad about something. Just trying to be like impartial as much as we can and let it keep going. And I mean, it was. Then I said something, and I think some other people said something, and then we'd get shit on top of that, like because you said something. It was crazy, man.
Wait, Zach, can you see this?
It's freaking crazy.
Yes.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit!
That's what I would have been doing.
Yeah, it was, dude. It was something else, man.
Well,
I
you're
think
a
you guys
fucking
handled it
ass-
gracefully.
Yeah, dude,
I
you
appreciate
guys.
I think it was a good thing it happened like on a Thursday, bro. If that happened on a Monday, you'd be like, "Fuck, we gotta let this simmer." Let's move on. This week. Now, obviously, After Dark trials, tribulations, or life stories.
Yeah, dude, that's what it's about.
I'm feeling inspired, right? And we're trying to get into kind of like being a little healthier, right? And so I feel really good since Saturday, every day, my wife and I and Vivi have been going on walks, and
Killer.
it's great. I love it. Now, walking with a 4-year-old is difficult, right? Because day one, she wanted to just walk. And then, of course, halfway through, she's like, I'm tired. Can you carry me?
Yeah, of course.
Awful. Day 2, she wanted to ride her bike. That worked out really good. Day 3, bike. And then she got bored of the bike. And then she wanted to ride her scooter, which we really didn't get a walk in because she doesn't know how to use a scooter.
Right.
Doesn't get the whole steering thing. And then today we got a wagon. I was like, fuck it. We're getting a wagon. She can have her snacks and her apple juice. This isn't for her. She works out. I mean, she not works out, but she plays all day at school. She doesn't. She's skinny as a stick. It's not important for her. And I feel great. But for me, I always like this thing, this channel is like the one thing in my life that I'm consistent with. Like I'll have like this like 3 a.m. inspiration, like, all right, I'm gonna get my shit together, I'm gonna start getting skinny again, and then I'll work out for like one day, and then I'm like, all right, bet, and then it just falls off. and I can never get over that hump. And so I feel great that that my wife is doing it with me, because it's hard, right? Like we're not the kind of people to do things separately. Like I would never go to the gym by myself because I'm just a weird person, and like we're both like real like obviously on the show we're out there, but like in real life I kind of just like to hang out with my wife. And so for us to be able to do this together, I think is really great. And I guess she has an Apple Watch that we never use, so we're like tracking everything, getting real digital. And I feel great, and I want to try to keep myself accountable. So I want to stay out on After Dark. So if you guys see me getting fat, you can call me out. Obviously, you guys have seen the water thing. I've been trying to drink water and all that. And
that's a big bottle.
That thing's empty, man. You think that's full? Come on.
It's a whole meme now.
Well, that's because I drank it all, John.
How big is that bottle?
It's a gallon.
Holy shit!
It's real.
My wife.
Oh my gosh.
Cut out the soda is the first thing you should do.
I've been doing that.
Steven, is that what you were doing? Are you doing the bore out here? My wife.
How dare you, John?
Steph, if you're watching, don't say anything.
I can't even try to get healthy. I get roasted in the chat. Look at this.
Dude, it's like a well.
We all
It's
know
not
that
a
the
bottle, it's like a
wagon.
well.
Oh my god.
The wagon's for you. You get tired halfway through the walk. Victoria has to push you back home. Come on.
How dare you?
Dude, you
It
should
was,
just carry Vivi.
Are you kidding me? I'm not fucking Luke Skywalker on fucking
Dude.
and
It's
Dagobah,
gonna-
motherfucker. I'm not
You're
gonna
gonna
be
burn
flipping
extra
and shit with her.
calories, man.
No, she doesn't know. She doesn't get it. She like chokes me when she holds on. She doesn't get the. I gotta get one of those backpacks like you look.
Zach, it's walking with kids is like walking with like a bloodhound, and they just they smell like
They get
dog
distracted by
smells
everything.
every single thing, and you're just like, this isn't.
We're
worth it.
walking,
Like,
and then she's like, "Why is there salsa on the ground?"
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
just. It's so
I don't know.
annoying.
Some guy was eating a taco, and I guess he was done. And he just fucking
Yeah.
put. And she's like,
or like
"But
a
why?"
cigarette butt.
She's
Cigarette
like, "But
butt.
why? Why, Dad?"
Like-
and I'm like, "I don't fucking
Yeah.
know." Right? This
Yeah.
guy's an asshole. That's why. What do you want me to tell you?
Well, like my kids,
we need to
my
get out
kids
of the
will-
street.
My kids will find a cigarette bud, and now I have to have a conversation about smoking, right? And I'm
Oh
just
my
like,
gosh.
I want to walk. Like that's all I want to do is just finish this walk. It's so ridiculous.
Pray you don't
Yeah,
find
and
it.
I will
Yeah, no
say
shit.
this, right? You know, obviously I'm not doing the Iron Man walk just yet, but you know what? I'm doing it, and I feel great.
That's awesome.
And hopefully you guys will see some results at some point. But yeah,
Totally.
no, I mean, I think sometimes like I'll see a picture of myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I become?
Well,
You just need to get into a routine.
He's not
Yeah,
here,
that's
but
right. I got to get a routine. Like I this show, I don't know how, but like we're still doing it because I have no structure outside of this show. It's
'cause
like
of
my one
me.
thing. Well, it's like the one
It's
thing
100%
that I
because you
can't
cannot
not
deny
do. I will say probably more so like, you know, Brian and Chris like keeping us like friendly competition thing. Because I was like, I can't quit if they don't quit. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
I
I guess.
Well, no, they're taking it, but no. I'm not
sabbatical.
I didn't
Yeah,
mention that to bring that up, but no, I'm just saying like having someone that kind of, and
Nah,
then you
you're
guys
gonna
as
make
well,
us
Rogue
go
One
do a
6.
fight.
No,
you
no,
guys,
no.
you guys like
wanna do that.
seeing like, you know, like I'll see new guys come up and I'm like, man, we got to do better than those guys. Or,
Yeah, sure,
like,
sure.
You know,
You
it's
can't
just-
do better
I
than
need
Matt.
I need to
Look at that
push
fucking guy.
myself.
You can do a whole
right? I
lot
need to have
better
some
than
Dude, Matt
competition.
could fucking start a stream and just sit there and fucking smolder the camera
I promise, no one would
and
do
get
that.
fucking. Dude, I'm not.
Look at that bottle. That is unbelievable, dude. Dude, it's like
My urn.
two-handed. Like it's like
It is an
drinking
urn.
from a well.
Look at this, like all the Patreon stickers.
That is pretty cool. Dude. I
what's
like
your
this
water
stuff.
bill after you fill that thing up a couple times?
That's a
dare
good
you.
one.
Is
Need
that
the
the
Rogue
wide?
One 6 sticker.
Is that the wide angle making that look so? It's freaking huge.
No,
No,
huge.
it's
It's literally
huge.
huge.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Wow.
Yeah, I need to get a Rogue One 6 sticker for this.
Yeah, dude.
Right there. Look at that.
Dude, you have a metal handle for it too. Like it has.
Yeah, no, this don't fuck around, dude. You could beat the hell out of somebody with this thing.
Amazing.
I don't,
much
I
does
don't
that thing
know
weigh
if
when you
mine's
fill it
that
up?
big.
That is amazing.
Hold on, let me
How
see.
dare you? Eddie says I've literally been doing that for you, Zach, and you talk shit.
I'm gonna go and try and find.
He's
mine.
not here,
Hold on.
but Eddie's been killing it. He's been eating healthy, and he's
I'll be right
been.
back.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
I not say I was inspired? Right?
Yeah, he's
Eddie
been
has
absolutely
to
killing
throw
it.
himself into the conversation.
So
Well, shouldn't you disclose by who? Like, who inspired you to do that? I mean, come on, give the.
Well,
give the man some credit.
I don't know if I don't want to, you know, I don't know. I mean,
No, he's cool. He's been.
Eddie's
killing
been
it.
doing great.
Yeah.
Fern says he's lost 45 pounds in the past 2.5 months. Soon I won't be
Wow.
big old Fern anymore. Well, Fern, I hate to break it to you, but you could be 45 pounds. You still be big old Fern to me.
Lil Ofer.
Little
Eddie
Fern.
says I'm almost 4 years without soda. Yeah, that's you know, I don't know. Maybe I won't get skinny, but you know, maybe I'll get a little healthier. Because I have like 2 appointments a year, like for the doctor or whatever. And after the winter one, they're like, oh well, like we'll schedule you for later, but they never did, so I never called them because I fucking hate going to the doctor for so many reasons, and I'm just like I don't know, eventually they're gonna call and be like, hey, what the fuck, you're supposed to be here in June, but I'm gonna put it off. I'm trying to get healthy, get my shit together, and then I'll be an example of health when I go and see them.
Practice
Probably
your
gonna be like
coughing.
September.
Yeah.
How dare you? What did you say?
Wait, what did he say?
Don't worry about it. You guys got to rewatch.
Go lay in the street, John. Go lay in
You
the
guys got to rewatch.
Eddie says, "Fuck you, Zach."
That's warranted.
We had such a peaceful conversation, and then Eddie comes in with the
Eddie
F.
pops in and
Question for you guys:
I mean,
What
just
what
like
are all
easy.
you guys? What are all you guys collecting now? Because I know it's evolved a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Because I know I've gone from like 6 scale or all kinds of stuff to 6 scale to now like statues and helmets and stuff. So like, is there any? Have you guys been changing what you collect, or is it still all the same stuff, or what's going on there?
I'm still in 375, still doing this, and at the same time, I'm still doing statues. I just dropped the pre-order for the Vader today for the premium format.
Oh, cool.
So
Killer.
yeah, I had some points to burn, so I was like, fuck it, let's do it.
That's awesome.
So that, and after seeing the Iron Studios Mandalorian,
Dude,
those
that
picks
thing-
that came out in hand, woo!
That
I'm
thing
excited
was
for that one to
good.
come out, man. I'm glad I got the pre-order for that guy.
Yeah. Where did you get it?
Todd hooked
Oh
it up.
yeah. That's he doesn't have it up though anymore, huh? That was at the beginning.
No,
That was
yeah.
at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, so I was lucky to get in on that. But yeah, I'm still I've got a few statues on pre-order, and
Killer.
I can see myself getting more, man. And
Dude, I love it.
I'm telling you, some of the larger stuff too. I'm getting so tempted by busts that are just not that are outside my focus right now.
I know.
What I'm seeing from Queen Studios, what I'm
I
seeing
know.
from Prime One, I'm like, oh my god,
Zach,
so tempting.
This is the one I used to take to the gym before the coof. It's not as big, but
Why do you
Still
call
nice
it the
size.
coof?
I don't know. Some people
I've
call
never
it
heard
that.
of-
And then
I've never heard of that.
I
this
like that
one.
one.
Oh,
Honestly, it's not
that a
that heavy
shake
when you fill it with water.
Dude, that's
Yeah, that's
cool.
not a lot of
I
water.
thought it was going to be
Shake
heavy,
weight.
but it's really not.
Shake weight.
So
wow.
So I've been getting real into third party. Star Wars just I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Star
Well, you're a
Wars
fake
right now.
fan. That's why.
How dare you?
I mean, you're not wrong. I honestly feel like selling my Mando Deluxe while it's still like I can get close to retail for it, and then
You sell it to me for under retail.
well, maybe making a run at some other figures that I've been looking at, but
Okay.
I just I don't know. I've been getting into anime stuff. I just picked up this really great Figma Diva on Dean's recommendation, and it's fantastic. And I kind of broach statues a bit, but I just broke 2 small statues like in 2 weeks, and it really soured my taste for
Yeah, that'll
like
do it.
statues.
That'll do it.
So I mean,
But
there were
Zach,
40.
have you seen some of the what is it, the Prime one?
Yeah.
Like they're
Oh yeah,
they're,
no, it looks fantastic. The
they're-
Ava stuff, dude, it looks fantastic.
Their dinosaur stuff is ridiculous. Like
Well,
they're actually.
Yeah.
Is it not
yeah.
good?
It's expensive though. Like
It's crazy.
The only reason I picked up blue here was because it was like 60% off for like no reason.
Okay.
On eBay one day.
He spit in
but
his mouth.
I spit in the guy's mouth, honestly.
Dude, he lowballed
John-
that guy.
John, what are you collecting these days?
Thanks for that image, Danny. I don't know. I'm in I've always collected statues, Hot Toys. I'm still into it, but I'm really considering making that transition from Hot Toys to statues. Just
Oh,
with
really?
what's everything that's coming out, Prime 1, XM,
The posing.
Queen. It's how do you keep up? You can't
Dude,
collect everything.
John, after what we saw at Wonderfest, man, I'm like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the same thing. If they got that Star Wars license, dude, forget about it. Everything is
Well,
going.
see, that's the problem. Like I think Hot Toys. I think Hot Toys are great. I just at some point I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like I cannot keep. They're coming out with them at such a massive like rate now.
yeah,
that I
I'm
can't-
saying.
I just can't
Well,
do
the
it.
pre-orders at least, not the releases, man. They're
Matt,
fucking
you still
dragging
have
my
some?
ass.
I still have some. I still have some down here that, but I'm pretty much selling what I've got
You
because
still have Tarkin?
no, I've got
Oh,
I've
I'm
got
pretty sure I
like
told you to fucking hit me up when you sold
what
Tarkin.
did you?
You motherfucker.
Dude, I
Just
did not know
Luke
that.
Storm.
He's not so handsome anymore, is he,
It's
Dean?
okay, Matt. Just smile. You'll get away with it.
No, he's still gorgeous.
No,
I can't
I've
be
got-
mad at him. Look at that face.
I've got the sideshow like Rogue Luke Skywalker pilot thing, whatever that is, the like Luke. I've got Luke Skywalker like the OG like New Hope one, and then the Mando, the original Mando, and then I think I've got a couple sequel figures that I don't know if I can give away at this point. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling Zach last night. I was like,
so
Yeah,
I'm hoping in 20 years some kid is like, I grew up with Ray and wants
yeah,
to.
I know.
pay
I might just give them to
exorbitant
my
amount
girls,
of
to
money.
be honest.
Yeah, there you go.
I have the Kylo, and it's not a great figure, but Victoria painted the Haskell beautifully, and it's like I can never get rid of that. But
Exactly.
also, not a huge Kylo fan. Dylan, what
I'm
are you,
not
what are you collecting?
Pretty all over the place. I've slowed down a lot more on Hot Toys in 6 scale. My thing is, like with statues, I would have been a lot more into it, or like Matt, your beautiful collection behind you of just like 1-to-1 helmets and other replicas, things like that. But it's of course space for me. What are you smiling about, Mario?
Yeah.
Because Sean is being a troll. That's all.
It's okay, Mario. You have mine when I decide to.
Yeah.
To him, I sold it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Don't blame you. He's local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My biggest issues right now is I want good representations of some of my favorite brands or licenses, and I can't find them in a lot of areas, or they're becoming harder to find, or I don't like what's out there.
Right.
Give us examples.
So,
very
for
vague.
example, Jaws.
Dude, you're not wrong, dude. They had the great line, and they fucking.
That's a good one. Oh my God.
Another one is Alien and Predator, which has died down a lot over the years. Like a lot of people give.
Dude, there's some new statues.
Yeah, I just saw the Prime one that came out, and that one I'm considering, but it's also $2,600 and third scale, and that doesn't really help my.
Well, it's like
that
Back
doesn't
to
help
the
my
Future, right? Back to the Future, they made there's just not a whole lot. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot that's out there, and they Hot Toys made the initial ones, right, and then they didn't really do much with it. So
yeah, so I'm getting a lot of my comic book character fixes through Mezco. Some of my movie likeness ones that I want just one of now instead of having multiple ones of doing those ones with Hot Toys. And then one that I missed out on because I thought it would last longer, I guess I have seen it in a few places, is the holy smokes, I'm blanking on the company that made it, the Ledger Joker statue, quarter scale.
Queen Studios.
Yeah. That one I'm probably gonna do for that character. So it's a mix and match of a bunch of things, and then staying patient for the IPs I really want, like a nice big chap. I've seen a couple big chaps out there for statues, but nothing that's super impressed me. I'll probably keep my quarter scale Hot Toys Vader because I'm not a huge fan of his translation to statues either. I don't think he is represented well or super well with statues, because if he's in a dynamic pose, you rarely see him in something like that.
Sure, yeah, sure.
But obviously that's subjective. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm sitting at. What about you, John? Oh, you went already, didn't
Danny
you?
boy.
Me, just Star Wars and X-Men, like.
Oh, okay.
But I cut down my focus on the 1/6 to just Troopers, like the Galactic Empire.
Yeah.
Because I can't buy all those statues, so it just makes more
Yeah.
sense for me to have 1/6, and then I
The
can.
Troopers look so good in 1/6.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
really
they
do.
do.
They do.
That's the one thing that sucks too, Danny, is you're into X-Men. That's a ton of characters to try and collect too in anything.
I'm gonna try and keep it
That's
to
coming.
9 to 12.
God,
A lot of really
Hopefully-
like X-Men stuff,
Yeah.
by the way. They
Like
just,
XM does a lot of good stuff in
oh
Sideshow.
my gosh.
So, and then
So is-
still some statues, like some Star Wars statues, but I'm probably gonna hit the the like obscure characters.
Okay.
Because like I have the Second Sister.
Yeah. So you're going more custom with some of that stuff.
And then iDiversio is coming out soon.
Yep.
I'm stoked for that one.
So
Yeah.
Danny, I'm an idiot when
Regan.
it comes to X-Men. I don't know much outside of like just the like 4 or 5 of the original ones from the cartoons. But where is who is what's the line of what you collect and where you don't, or who you don't like to collect for X-Men?
I'm focusing more on like the classic Jim Lee, Chris Claremont run. So it's
Okay.
like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Colossus, Gambit, Rogue,
XM
Psylocke.
took a lot of your money recently, haven't they?
Yeah, like geez, I made like 3 pre-orders in less than 2 months, and I'm like,
God damn.
And there's more coming with the cinematic universe. So
That's the first time I started sweating, because it's like it feels like a mortgage payment.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's like crazy.
How about you, Scott?
Well, I've always been a big Superman-focused collector, but I've kind of slowed down on that. I've got so much. Some of it I've even thought about getting rid of because I just have so much of it. Mainly just been doing Star Wars 1/6 scale. Been thinking about diving into the statues. I haven't yet, but I've been thinking about it because there's just so much good stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like I've kind of felt recently that there's kind of a shift in the statue world where, like, for the longest time, you couldn't get a statue that looked like really anybody, and now it's starting to become a situation where they are as good as Hot Toys for their likenesses in some cases, if not
you got-
possibly
If not
better.
better.
In some
You
cases.
got you got K.A.
in some
Kim who went
cases.
over to Blitzway, and
Yeah.
You know,
I would
I'm
say that
just-
Wonder Woman is probably the greatest statue I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
That's
It's pretty amazing.
Predators.
I'm just saying, do you think that's going to continue that direction? And
I hope so.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's what's attracting me right now when I'm seeing the realism coming to these giant statues, which I never thought I'd be collecting.
Right.
And just to see how much they're really improving, it just makes everything so much more attractive, man. So yeah, I really hope they continue that trend.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Alvin says the Zen Creation 1/6 scale Naruto looks way better than expected. I just bought one. They're planning on expanding their anime license. What a guy coming in there with the $5 super chat. Trendy Tech Talk says Danny's flexing again. Give him my contact if he thins the Superman collection. Alfred says have a great show, fellows. Craig says, what do you guys think of the J&D Studio statues? Those are the ones with the silicone, right? The 30
Yeah,
years old.
this is
They
where
look
things. I think
ridiculous.
things are just getting crazy.
They just didn't they just tease Harley Quinn?
Harley Quinn,
The Suicide
yeah.
Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, jeez, man.
Their
can't say
Arthur
enough
Fleck
great
was
things about that.
impeccable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was crazy looking.
Well, and what's interesting is they're starting to use look, silicone. It worries me to use
Yeah.
to buy stuff with silicone. Like seriously, I know Regal Robot specifically tries. Like, look, they could have possibly made the Rancor, some of these other things out of what they made them for the
That's
movies,
scary,
right? But that is you're not going to have that for super long
Those
time.
props
Right.
did not age well. Adam.
They were saying they're medically graded for 30 years. The
Yes.
Yeah, but they're
longevity.
sweating on the floor already.
But regardless, you're already putting a cap on the longevity of the statue.
I
Well,
know.
30 years, dude. I mean,
It doesn't matter. If
I mean, come on,
That's a long
man.
time.
I mean, how long should a statue?
If
that's
I
gonna kill
invest-
resale.
How long should a statue last?
If
right?
I invest in a collection and I maintain the collection, keep it in the box, display it properly, hydrate the materials or whatnot, that thing I'm not going to say it's
But you
gonna
don't.
be, okay. I'm not going to say it's gonna be as pristine
Jesus.
like the first day you pull
Yeah.
it out, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a box isn't a perfect way to store a figure.
I'm
John.
not saying it is. I'm saying if you're taking care of the figure appropriately, I'm not
Yeah.
going to say it's going to last forever, but it's something that you should be able to pass
Because
on
I've thought about
to generations, I think.
I think if you look at like your collection, like I mean, just looking at my collection, I mean, I would say the Polystone stuff, barring a traumatic like something just fucking tipping over. I mean, I think those would probably age pretty well. I mean, looking at most of the other stuff in the collection, though, outside of Polystone, like the Sideshow Baby Yoda does have. It's not really silicone. It's just like a hard rubber. I could imagine that not lasting forever.
Right.
Some of like the Hot Toys Vader,
Miles
the
statue.
leather. No, there's a rod in the arm. I think that one might actually be decent.
yeah,
But
but
you're right. That
polyester
one
could
does.
crack around it.
Yeah, that one does.
Some of the
scare
Hot
me.
Toys have the silicone arms now, right? The actual.
Yeah, but those don't last very
Those
long.
don't last months.
A day
than
if
a
you're lucky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you pose it wrong.
Baby Yoda rip.
Oh,
But
so-
can you imagine selling something and being like, "I've had it for 10 years. It should have 20 years left on it." Like you almost at some point you almost have to sell the statues and tell them how
Yeah.
long you've had it, right? Because
It's like selling a set of tires. Well, I drove on it for 30,000 miles, so you should have 30,000.
you should be all right. You should be all right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one thing that does scare me with statues. It sounds OCD, but the needing to most of the time open display them, that would spook me.
Yeah.
You
To
could.
a certain
you could
extent.
build a case, but then you're looking at.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
You're
a lot
right.
of money.
That's what I mean. Like, it's gonna even cave into your
Well,
room already. Even
And
more than-
Mario and I have to worry. Probably Mario even more than I do have to worry about earthquakes. So it's not
That's real.
smart
Every day I
to
worry about it,
collect
bro.
statues where we live, but
Yeah.
YOLO, right? What are you gonna do?
Exactly, man. Just
What are you gonna do?
the chances of it happening are pretty much slim and none as far as
Yeah.
in our lifetime, because we've
Right,
been hearing
sure.
about the big one for the longest
I
time.
know
dude,
for
so
forever.
It's not. I don't think it's gonna happen in our life.
But I say all the time, when it does, I'll probably be a helmet collector at that point. Like, it's just gonna all crumble to pieces. Like, did you see that video? By the way,
Don't even mention
Yeah,
it.
that
one in
was
Vietnam?
such a. Oh my
Don't even
gosh, that
mention
was
it.
dude,
horrible.
that
Oh,
was
where the shelf collapsed.
so sad.
It was crazy.
That
I
was
haven't
crazy.
seen it.
That
Yeah,
was a
it was
collection
like-
and a
it's like-
half.
It was like at a
It's so
showroom,
bad.
like a.
That
Was
was
it
a
from an
collection
earthquake?
and
I
a
thought it
half.
was just a collection that fit. The
No, it
shelf
was,
that failed.
it was an earthquake.
Oh man, that was awful. I mean, it literally looked like someone drove a car into a statue showroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
I mean, some of the pieces that survived is surprising. Like, I think it was like one of the Prime one Superman with the cape that goes all the way out, and that thing survived. That's crazy.
When I saw that Thanos on throne on the floor cracked, I was
I
like, my
know.
soul just, my soul left my body for a minute.
Actually, some people said that a lot of those look like recasts.
It's possible.
Keyboard Warrior says,
I guess
"Good
you
morning
never
from
know.
the UK.
Yeah.
Anything with material at all is going to have issues long term. Do a lot of laws around biodegradable materials. That's a great point."
Yeah.
Trendy Tech Talk says insurance. He also says, "I think we're being too hard on some of these companies trying to be innovative and it not working out. Then in the same vein, getting mad at companies for being stagnant. That's what we do, man. We're not the fucking moral company.
Yeah,
we
dude.
get,
We're
we get
not.
mad at everything."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Usby says, "Mario, you jinxed us." And Genie says, "The
Exactly.
best part about not having kids is I have plenty of room for my stuff. Just watch out for Kevin. He's a biter. Buying your statues, Dini."
Dude.
Sweet.
Settle in,
He
Sean.
can't
The big
reach-
one's gonna
he
be
can't
coming
reach-
next week.
Dude, Guts is going to be missing some pieces at some point.
No, he's too small. He can't get that high.
Dude, Matt, is that
Yeah.
an AT-AT back there? Is that a print or is that an actual piece?
That is an
Is that
actual
the master
piece. So
replicas?
yeah,
That
so
looks new.
Oh,
it is brand new.
Oh,
It is brand new.
Nice.
So I was supposed to. It's funny. I was supposed to open this on Sunday because Chris is opening a bunch of things, and we were just gonna. This compared to what Chris is opening is nothing. Chris has some crazy stuff he's opening on Sunday, so I was gonna wait for that. But I had to. I bought it from a guy on the RPF, really nice guy, and I had to check it out when he sent it to me. It got here like the last week or something like that. I had to like look at the thing. When I started to open it, I was like, I can't not fully put this thing together without it. I mean, I can't check this out without fully putting it together. It's not impossible. Like, you have to put the base on it and screw it into the feet, and then flip the box over and pull it all out. It's this whole big thing that you have to do it. And then once I got it out, I was like, I don't have anywhere to put it. I'm just gonna put it here. And then now it's there. So like, I just told Chris, like, sorry, dude, I'm gonna have
Dude,
to.
it looks fucking great next to
Congrats,
the
man.
Empire Vader.
I know I got
beautiful.
Empire Vader or
Is that
Iron,
the XM?
Iron Studios Vader. Next to the AT-AT, next to the XM Luke, and then I've got the helmet back there.
Because I was like,
Congrats.
that looks new.
It's pretty cool, man. It's
Eagle
beautiful.
eye.
I'll say this: I'm sure there's plenty better AT-ATs you can get custom made, because the paintwork would be better, but it is beautiful. It's really cool. It's something I've wanted for a really long time. So
Nice.
finally was
Congrats.
able to pick. Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you. I'll tell you what. We're gonna show pictures of me opening it and like what it looks like on the shelves and stuff on Sunday. And if you watch that, you'll see just how small the AT-AT looks next to the Iron Studios Vader. The Iron Studios Vader is massive. Like you forget how big that thing is if you're not like moving it around. It's freaking huge. And even next to XM Studios or XM Luke, it kind of doesn't look as big as you'd think it would be. But yeah, it's pretty sick. So
We may have a guest joining us here in a minute. Dylan, how's the prep work going for the Dorklair interview, or I guess like joint show?
Good. I'm excited. It's gonna be a loaded show, I think, overall, because there's gonna be, if Eddie hops on, 6 of us in it, which I haven't had 6 on Small Talk since the very beginning. So we'll have
Did
to.
you say 6 or 6?
Both.
Both.
Zach, can I show this real quick?
Sure.
But I'm excited. I've listened to those guys for a long. They're one of the podcasts I found when I was trying to figure out like how I wanted to do what we do.
That's my sister's got
Context.
statue.
This is the third skill?
Yes.
is that the guts?
Voice.
Yeah, the prime one. Guts.
Yeah, I think.
Has she unboxed that other one yet, or are we still going to do that live?
No, we're still waiting. We still have to finish the table, but in the middle.
Dean, is
of
she
those.
getting a lot of these, or
She has Guts, she has Griffith, and she has the Zod in apostle form.
oh
which
my
is-
gosh,
dude!
It's a
I
massive
cannot
statue.
wait till we unbox that thing. It's fucking.
those things are
huge.
so freaking big.
Let me pull up a picture of my hand in its hand just to give you like a.
Show me a picture of
size.
your peen next to it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we do have our guest. Welcome, Andy Keyboard Warriors, to the After Dark.
Hey.
What a guy.
What's going on,
What a
man?
guy. I was actually watching your Gandalf review like 7 times today because I'm like
Yeah, I enjoyed
hyping
that.
myself out for it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the best review of that figure on the.
Is
on
that
YouTube.
Asmus Gandalf? Is that
Yeah,
what
the
you're
Crown
talking about?
series.
Oh, cool.
The one and only.
How did that
Shut up,
turn out?
Humbling,
How did
thank
that
you.
turn out?
It's really good. It's the thing that I'm not a huge fan of is the hat. That's like the only thing that they bottomed out on with that. The body's really nice. I really like the way that the head comes off the neck peg. They designed like a really cool system where you
like a
take
faux
the
head.
yeah, it's like an outer shell to the head that you remove. So it's really solid. It's really cool, and the materials are all nice. And I mean, I had the original one, and it's just night and day better than that, definitely.
Is the hair done well? Like, did they actually like? Because I mean, it's
Yeah,
rooted. It's rooted, right? It's rooted hair.
Yeah, it's rooted, and it doesn't. When most companies do rooting, what they do is they make a skull cap, and they
Right.
just root all them en masse, thread them through like old Barbie dolls with the sewing machine, and literally just pop them on. This has got. I mean, I think there's a little bit of that in some of the PVC work, but it's all threaded up and through. I mean, I'm jealous of it with my hairline, so it's really solid. I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Killer.
And the base is just massive. It's this huge resin thing with modular
Crazy.
parts. It's really cool.
Dude, that's cool that came out good, man. Because that was a while, right? I mean,
Yeah, it was in production for a while, and then it released some of them as early as like December, January, and like mine's still on pre-order, and I have no idea when it's coming in.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think they did 2 waves. I'm very suspicious that there was. I think what happened is that they did a wave, waited for people to go, oh, I really like this, and then they had they still had licensing probably because it all depends on Windows and what you've extended and stuff like that. So
Right. That's cool. That's really cool.
I hope they fix the hat with the second version because universally, I think that was the main concern.
Is it that
Andrew,
bad?
Yeah, there's like a cap in it, I think, that prevents it
that-
from actually fitting right.
That's the problem. It was one of those where if I had dissected it and took it to bits, I could have fixed it. I could have removed the cap in the base. I could have moved the magnet placement. I could have put something that bent the hat. But unfortunately, it's like, okay, this is this really high-end figure. Do I want to take it to bits? and
I'm
risk
going
my
to totally do
my
that.
man fingers on sewing.
Did
No,
they?
No, I don't.
So, do you think they over-engineered the hat? Is that the idea, or like?
I think
they did
I
too
just
much?
I
it's
don't
to
know if
prevent
it was
the
an
hair.
afterthought. That's the problem. I think honestly,
Yeah,
I believe it was one of those where we're going to nail this hair. By the way, you over there, can you sort this hat out? We need it to magnetize to the head.
Right.
And then it comes back and it's like, that's my only, outlook on it, because it's just one of those where it doesn't make sense from a reference point of view. It doesn't make sense from a placement of the magnet and how it fits the head, because literally you can drop it onto it and it goes,
Oh wow.
and
Okay.
it picks where it's going to sit, rather than you allowing you to move it round and stuff. And I'd have much preferred just a normal hat to place. That's where I would have been with that.
Okay, I have these pictures ready to go. Okay, you guys see this?
Wow.
So one of these boxes is just the base. This one. And then the other box is the actual Zod. My sister's she's like 5'4". So this door is like almost 10 feet tall. So you can see how big these fucking boxes are.
It's Prime 1, right, Dean?
Yeah, Prime 1. And then this is my hands and his hands.
Holy jeez, dude.
Crazy.
So this
Joe would kill me.
Yeah, it was. Oh man, I think it was like.
Wow.
$4,500, maybe less. I don't remember. But
Dean,
yeah,
do you know
just-
how? Do you know how like the dimensions of that thing? Like, is it?
Not off the top of my head. I know the table we had to build. We already have. We just need to touch the legs, but it had to be 48 inches square.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that leaves maybe like 3 inches on each side.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this.
What was the
thing
shipping
is-
on that?
Oh, dude, Deanie, if you're watching, can you come in here and tell these guys? Because
So if you guys don't want to disclose it, I mean that's fine. But I would
Yeah, that's
imagine
true.
that's another freaking.
Oh my gosh.
What
She
another
was
freaking
sending me
statue?
Yeah.
is.
Do they sell those
Crazy.
through Sideshow, or is that just Prime 1 that sells the?
She orders through Prime 1, but
Okay.
Sideshow did sell Prime 1. They do currently. But
They
if
only
I
sell
remember
certain ones, though,
correctly-
right?
Yeah, certain
Yeah.
ones. And they don't offer replacements, I don't think. So if yours is
Okay.
broken, it's like, sorry.
Yeah, you're screwed.
So she just goes through Prime 1. But yeah, it was, I remember the shipping. Oh, man, it was like, dude, it was so high. It was like almost like, she could have bought another like low end statue.
She just
Oh my
disclosed it.
gosh, dude.
I bet.
But like my sister like doesn't buy a whole lot of stuff like me where I'm like buying something every day. Oh yeah, Lexi.
Shipping was $700 with their discount for America originally $1,600.
No.
Yeah,
Dude,
so,
that's
like,
a statue right there.
Yeah.
When she does something, she goes all out. She's like, I'm buying a figure every other week. She buys 3 statues and like
Sure.
So that's
she
from-
one a year maybe.
is she super
So-
into the?
Berserk is literally her favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That was one of the after darks that we sat on, and you just like walked through all the statues that she has and what she wants, and I think that was one of the ones she mentioned that she's
yeah, and luckily,
been waiting for.
you put it on pre-order and you could, I think maybe a payment plan, and then when
Yeah,
it
sure.
releases, you pay the rest. So
Yeah.
I guess maybe it didn't hurt that much, not dropping almost.
Dean, was this
$5
the one?
all at once.
Was this the one that you mentioned that she wanted to unbox?
Yeah, dude, I can't wait, but we gotta figuring out how to like film it is gonna be tough. 'Cause
Yeah, it's tough.
It's so big.
Yeah.
I hope somebody takes that out of context, just that one caption.
Yes.
Eddie, clip
And just, runs with it over the groups.
Andrew, I know you've been working with Iconiq. How do you pronounce it? It's Iconiq Studios? Or
It's iconic, but with a Q. There's an
Okay.
internal joke about it that the Q's for quality, but we'll talk
There we
about
go.
that later.
Do you want to talk about that company and we can give you guys some free plugs right now?
Well, yeah, sure. I left my real job a couple of years ago now to go full out into the whole licensed figure game. I'm very lucky that I've been doing this a long time and I've made a lot of contacts and things like
Oh
that.
my God, yeah.
Throughout, like people like Eleven and Kai and some just amazing people.
We talked about this
And,
before with Lee.
Yeah.
we literally
And the
have
Bateman.
some amazing stuff coming. Saturday is the big
Wow.
reveal for Psycho. We're waiting on a couple of studio approvals because there's some really nice stuff we want to show. I can talk about a few things. Obviously, there's certain things that limit me about what I can talk about and what contracts say and NDA and stuff. But
yeah, no one watches our channel anyways. I mean,
trust me, you'd be surprised you'd be surprised of things that I've said in passing to somebody, and then our license has come back and gone, "Have you said this?" I'm like, yeah, no. Yeah, I have. So I've got to be really careful, obviously, but I never say anything, really, really bad or anything like that. It's just there's some really cool things that we get to work on, and I want to be able to continue to do that. So yeah, that's the alley. I absolutely love that. That head's insane in real life. The cool thing about the alley is, and I reckon this is going to go nuts after the fact, because we have a full figure of this coming, and this head's going to be compatible. And obviously, and my thing as a 1/6 collector for a long time is all about compatibility and quality. So color match was really important to match what we've got coming with the figure, and so obviously this standard one will have the nice look, but the thing that we're pursuing with the full figure is going to have sort of the gum shield and stuff like that. So if you want him not in fight, but you want it on the figure, you're going to be able to transpose those heads and things like that. So
I remember when this went up for pre-order, I was like, I bet they're going to make a full figure. The way the head comes off, I was like, they're 100%.
I think you totally predicted that.
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta get on this.
I'm kind of cheeky. If you look in, I think there's a picture we shared through one of the Iconiq pages where it's like the unpainted alley head being held, and if you look in the background, you can see the sculpted version of the body on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of the pictures that will release that I'll throw something in the background of, or I'll get somebody to throw something in the background of, because I want to say this is coming, but I can't say. So it makes my life a lot easier.
Is this your company, or do you just work with this?
I'm part owner. Yeah, I'm part owner.
Wow!
So,
congratulations!
So
you got this great Patrick Bateman coming soon.
Well, if you look at the obviously not on the Instagram, but if you look on the Facebook, we have it on the Instagram there. That shows how much I've been managing it. That's the main teaser for Saturday. We've got so many photos and cool stuff to show off with that. I'm just so excited about it. There's a lot. It's really tempting not to just walk over to the other side of the living room and get stuff from that figure and go on camera. Hello, this is this.
Just do it, bro.
So,
yeah, this looks. I when we talked about this, I was like, it's not often we get a new company, comes in with a great idea, licensed. Everyone does unlicensed. Comes with a licensed figure. Patrick Bateman, one of those figures that for a while you can only get in custom form, and it's pretty pricey. I think it's great. I wish you guys all the luck with the pre-order, and for people that want to pre-order, is it going to be up on like Big Bad Toy Store for America, or is it just going to be
everywhere? Okay. I'm very lucky to be able to say what I've tried to do where possible is coordinate as much internationally as possible. So on Saturday, I'm giving you the wrong date. That's great. Coordinate it. I'll tell you the wrong date. On Saturday, it's going to be 1 p.m. UK time. So it's currently 6 a.m., 6:13 a.m. here. So
it'll be about
your calculations for your local area.
Yeah,
and so you're looking at all the big retailers. If they do license, they're probably taking it.
Man, that's fantastic.
So not Big Bad Toy Store will definitely be on there. That like previously, but there's other companies as well.
Andy, it's cool that you guys picked some really interesting, characters, right? Like, I mean, that's just, we talk. I feel like we talk about as collectors all the time about people not making the things that we want them to make. You know what I mean? Like, companies not making the things that everyone like. It's always like Darth Vader or Iron Man or something like that. And you just don't see, you just don't see some of the random stuff that you might want in your collection. And it's cool that you guys are doing some stuff like that, and at a good quality too. It's cool.
it's a really weird balancing act, because like the one thing I never thought I'd be doing, because I'm a teacher previously, was being in meetings with like studios and executives and
Sure.
stuff about
Yeah.
this stuff, and I never thought that was going to be a thing. And it's really interesting, some of the conversations. Some of them with certain licenses have just like never been approached. Some of them, certain terms have come up. I mean, I think the most famous example of licensing and how it changes is, does anybody remember when the Adam West Batman Blu-rays happened?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know why that happened and why they came out of nowhere?
No.
Literally 5 people owned the license to those figures. Those Blu-rays. Sorry, it's very early here. And
What a guy.
when that went up, literally one guy died, and the other 4 were willing to license. They'd had to wait all this time for this guy basically to pass away, and his family to give up the rights.
They
'cause he
poisoned
got
him.
released
They
for
poisoned
whatever
him.
reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone looking at that. Someone
There's
looking
something
at that.
there.
Unsolved mysteries.
And that's it. And just sometimes, Murder She Wrote, get Angela Lansbury around, she'll be fine. But yeah, it's one of those where you sometimes go, oh wow, this thing's up for license now, and it's normally something shifted, or somebody's rights have shifted or moved, or things like that. So it's really interesting the way that sort of works, and I'm really excited to the thing that's got me most excited, and we have shared a picture, so I can talk about it, is Street Fighter in 1.6 is going to be insane. I think
That's
it's
so
going to
cool.
blow so many people's
great idea.
minds.
Andy, do you find?
Well, we have it, so it's there.
Andy, when you talk to studios, do the studios actually like are they excited about talking about a toy, or what I mean? It's not a toy; it's a figure, it's a collectible. But at the same time, like, do they? Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I feel like they would go into a meeting and just be like, "Oh, great, we got to talk to this guy about."
Depends who you get. No, that is a really valid question, because I've had both ends of the spectrum. Okay, so I've had, yes, we have this. It's a list. Here's a sheet. This is how much it costs. Get out of my room. I've had that.
Right.
But I've also had the flip side of it, where there was one guy who we took a sample of something that the factory that we'd use had made, and he was literally making toy playing sounds like with it.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was really like excited around that. And yet there's been other ones where where there's people I don't expect. When you just see, like, I don't know, an older lady or something like that, and she goes, oh, so has that got 30 points of articulation? Or, oh no, it's 34. And you're like, oh, okay, you really know your stuff. You do this all day and live and breathe it. Great. People you don't expect.
Right.
Just absolutely, the thing that really surprised me is they're all just people at the end of the day, and you always get this boardroom, I'm bored, money, executive thing, and it's really not that. So it's great.
That's so cool.
Are we able to talk about price point for Patrick Bateman, or does that have to wait till Saturday?
It's Saturday, because I've been sworn to secrecy on that. I will say comparable against other brands. That's the best legal line I can give you.
The scope looks insane, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, it does.
It's hard to do open mouths and remain true to like the
yeah, that's true.
Likeness. So yeah, that's tough to do. So
I was so impressed. Well, one, I mean, the sculptor, she's absolutely amazing. She's also got a lot of that. She's like previously worked for Blitzway and a few other companies and whatever, and she's just amazing. And the thing with the open mouth sculpt, and what we're kind of trying to push for is, how can I put it? I wanted to be able to pause the movie and go, that's the head sculpt, rather than it be an interpretation of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So if that's your
right.
thing, and so because a lot of people, the old custom, the iMini-Me version, which is, for its time is absolutely amazing, and the tailoring and everything like that. But a lot of people don't realise, like, the big smiling head with the slick back hair is from a photo shoot. It never appears in the movie, not once.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So a lot of people have a thing that was made for a photo shoot for promotional art for the DVD, rather than the actual crazy sculpt, because all his hair comes forward and he kind of goes crazy, and it's that we wanted to sort of replicate.
Yeah.
So cool. That's cool.
Andy, I have a quick question on your experience with your Kickstarter campaign. How was your experience with all of that?
Oh, fun. Fun and an incredible learning curve. I think that the biggest thing for us is I don't think Kickstarter is what it was previously. I feel now it's become a retail outlet. This is my personal belief, rather than so when we went, here's the concept of the thing, here's all the parts, stuff like that, to go through the process of production like Kickstarter used to be, and people are like, we want this like tomorrow, and that's fine. I get it, but it was a very, very big learning curve to be like, oh wow, we've got to move very fast on this. The one thing that I've been an absolute stickler with it, with the board game in particular, has been its quality over rushing it out. And I will say to people every day of the week, I would rather you come to me and ask for a refund than say, I want it out tomorrow and you need to, get it out and it be substandard. Because the problem is you can't patch a board game, you can't patch a figure after it's released. It's not like a video game. You can put it out to the world and then fix it later and it'll be okay. And that's something that's been, really important to me. I mean, the other thing that's been really annoying is obviously, like you guys brought up, and I'm not going to say the word, but the situation in the world at the moment has meant that travelling's a pain. So normally what would have been a conversation that takes 2 minutes for production of stuff, you can get on a plane, you can be there, you can go and talk about all this stuff and get it done, becomes a message, a photograph, send it into the post for me, wait a week, then finish the conversation off, because you go, yeah, that thing's not right, I need that fixed, and then you put it back in the post, and then you have the conversation again about that a week later, and it becomes as awful as it sounds. Email's great, but anybody who tells you can tell what digital print looks like or a sculpt looks like on a photographs line.
Yeah, you got to see some in person with some of this stuff. Yeah.
The biggest thing that people don't realise, and particularly with head sculpts and stuff like that now, is I'll get a photo from a factory or from whatever, and people have done it on their phone. And so the issue with that is most people's phone cameras have AI in them now. So if you've spent all your life taking pictures of a figure or taking pictures of your family when you go out, your phone learns what their skin tone is, it learns what the background is and your normal optimal lighting is. So then you take something for work and send it or whatever, and that photo's not how it is in real life. So it's a difficult thing. You know what I mean? Your eyes can't lie to you.
It's the same thing. Like people take pictures of helmets, and they get real close to the helmet and take a picture, and all of a sudden the helmet looks like it's distorted. Yeah. It's something's wrong with it. You gotta figure out how to take pictures in some of these cases. But you're right. In some cases, it doesn't matter if you know how to take pictures. It still ain't gonna look like it looks in person. Yeah, for sure.
No, that's it. And it's the little things that people miss as well. They go, "Oh, this is great. This is fine." And you go, "Actually, just on the back here, around this corner, there's a little print error there, or something like that." So yeah.
Let's have one more question from Alvin, and then we'll put this one to bed. Alvin says, "Has your experience changed how you view companies like Hot Toys?" For Andrew. Yeah,
in a respect way. The amount that they get done and quickly is insane. They have to have production 3, 4, 5 production facilities that are completely locked down, that they either own outright or they own all the contracts on them, because I've walked into factories and seen licensed stuff on one table and seen unlicensed stuff on the next table. Yeah, I've walked into certain places and seen where there's been a room, and you walk through into the next room and they're literally making a knockoff of the thing that's in the room there. So you've got to be so careful of stuff. You know what I mean? Who you send it to and what happens. And we're not on about little companies. We're on about big companies that you're like, how in hell are you? Just come here. They let me in. They're going to let you in and check, because it's scary. So when you look at Hot Toys production and you realize things don't leak, we'll get the odd photo, but you look at things like, molds, clothes, things like that, and having it all locked down and controlled. they're second to none with it. They do a really good job, and you know, if we can get into the echelons of that one day, I'll be very, very proud. You know what I mean? It crowning jewel after children. You know, it's that sort of thing.
Well,
I
we
have
wish
to
you
say
guys
that
all
in
the
case he
luck.
watches it.
Yeah. We'll wish you guys all the luck with your pre-order starting Saturday. Hopefully we can get you on in a little less awkward time for an official stream. I know, Dylan, I think maybe you'd want to join in on that. Maybe we can schedule something once these photos release of
absolutely.
Bateman. I think that'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. I mean, like anything for, I mean, like when it comes to these things, I don't like to impose, so that's why I'll comment on things and stuff like that. When you invited me in, I was like, oh, right, that's great. But I just, this community's meant a lot to me for a very, very long time. Like just everybody in the figure community, full stop. And it's really nice to sort of like have support and people, you know, giving us time for stuff like that. So I really appreciate it.
I'll say this, you know, you've been creating content for a long time, and you know there's times when, you know, before we were really had any sort of traction, you know, you'd ask a question on someone's review, or you know, we know who these people are in the groups. You send them a message like, hey, watching your review, I just want to clarify for a figure I'm getting. Basically no one ever answers comments or messages, at least back then. I think you were always willing to answer my questions personally. I don't know about the other guys, but you were always willing to answer the questions and go over things and send photos, and I always really appreciated that. So I think it's great now that you have your new company. I think we can definitely give you guys all the press that you need. So definitely just let us know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I know for me, as now that we're content creators as well, I think we try our best to reply to comments and messages and everything, and that's something we definitely took from you guys. So Matt, Andrew, thank you guys for joining us. Dylan, Scott, John, Danny, Mario, and Dean, you're contracted to be here, so yeah. But anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Mario.
I don't know, it's something
I'm
something
Jonathan.
something.
It's supposed to be Danny, but I'm Jonathan.
No, it's Jonathan in this case.
Dylan.
Okay, we'll just play.
Zach, what was the old one you guys used to do, where everyone had to say it together? What was that?
Oh, new this week.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was?
Oh, that's this one.
New this week.
Yeah, we always used to butcher that. Nailed it. We always used to butcher that one.
Dude, I love
Anyways, thanks everyone for tuning in. Big shout out to Alvin for coming in hot with a super chat. And Eddie Maestro says looking forward to the American Psycho figure. We'll catch you guys Thursday.
Great.
Yeah, there we go. Thursday for Small Talk, Friday for In-N-Outs, and then maybe some Ox Place in the mix. Catch you in the next episode.